We have learned how to identify different geometric shapes. Today, we're going to learn how to find the distance around that shape. When you look for the distance around the shape, we call it the perimeter. And what we're trying to figure out is how much units go around the shape. For example, if this rectangle here was 4 inches long and 2 inches wide, we could figure out how long around it is. Let's find out. Well, I know that these two sides are equal, so this would be 4 inches. And I know these two sides are equal, so this would be 2 inches. And then I just add up the sides. 4 and 4 are 8, plus 2 and 2 are 4, so the perimeter would be 12 inches because I'm adding them up. Let's break this down. Whenever I think of perimeter, I think of a fence, because a fence is the distance around your backyard. So when I think of perimeter, I think about the distance around my backyard. And then I think about my dog, because my dog needs a fence to stay in the backyard. So if I wanted to build a fence around the yard to keep my dog in, I would need to know exactly how much fence to buy. Let's say that my backyard is 30 feet long and 15 feet wide, and I need to buy some fence material to keep Hurley in. Well, I know that these two sides are equal, so it would be 30 over here, and I know these two sides are equal, so it would be 15 over here. And then I just need to add up each side, each length. So I could do the two sides that are the same, 30 plus 30, which would be 60. And then I could do 15 plus 15, which are the two sides, and it would be 30. Then all I needed to do was add up my two numbers. So 30 plus 60 would be 90, which means I would have to buy 90 feet of fence to keep Hurley inside. We can also use graph paper to help us figure out units. I want to know the perimeter of this shape, or the distance around this shape. I can count up each square unit, how much each side takes up. So if I count here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this rectangle is 5 square units across. And then I want to count the other side. So we have 1, 2, 3. This is 3 square units. And since it's a rectangle, I know this side equals this side, so this is also 5 units. And this is also 3 units, because I can count them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what I need to do is I need to add up each side so that I can figure out the distance around the shape. So let's count. We have 5 and 5, which is 10. 3 plus 3, which is 6. We added up. The total perimeter, so we would write perimeter equals 16 units. That's how many squares it takes to get around. I could also find the perimeter of this shape by counting the unit segments. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I could say that the perimeter of this shape equals 16 units. That's the distance around. I can also find the perimeter by adding up the length of each side. On this polygon, each side length is labeled. So what I would do is I would add up all of the sides to find the distance around. I think of perimeter like a fence. So I could start by adding 4 and 4, these two sides, and if I added up it would be 8. I could add on 5 more, which would be 13. Then I could add on 6 more, which would be 19. Then I could add on 7 more, which would be 26. So my perimeter would equal 26 centimeters because I added it all up each side. Remember that when you're adding up the perimeter, make sure you add each side and you don't leave one out. Or if you're adding up the square sides, then you need to make sure you count carefully and don't leave anyone out. When adding perimeter, it's always best to double check and make sure you got the correct answer. Remember, a perimeter is like a fence. We want to find the distance around. Think about building a fence. If you were building a fence in your backyard, you would need the correct measurement. How many yards or feet of fence would you need?